Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Movie News here at MBE. I'm joined, as always, with John.
Yes.
Hope you've all had a good weekend, folks, and we're going to crack on with a few interesting stories in the entertainment world, John. And the headline, as you can see from our thumbnail, is the Batman movie is launching its own film and TV universe. Gotham TV. The Batman movie spin-off TV show on HBO Max officially launches a new Batman universe across multiple platforms, hinting there's more to come. Now, in an official announcement of the Batman TV show about Gotham PD, it stated the series is ultimately launching a new Batman universe across multiple platforms, although there are no other movies or TV shows confirmed to follow the Batman and the new Gotham Police procedural TV show. This statement seems to indicate Warner Brothers has plans for a larger Batman shared universe across both film and television. John, this dropped just earlier on today. I know that a few YouTube channels have already covered this because that's what they do for a job. We don't. We've got to wait till this time of night here in the UK before we can cover this sort of news. But it is interesting news, and it's something never considered a film to sort of branch out in its own sort of universe. It's always been a studio or a franchise. Well, Batman is a franchise in its own right, but I couldn't see many comic book heroes being able to do this, but we talked about it anyway, John, before we came on air, so I'll hand it over to you now to give your thoughts.
Yeah, Stephen, look, I'm happy about this. I thought, I'm going to you. Sorry, that's me. I was meant to be putting it on. Yeah, I'm happy about that, Stephen. I'm happy about the general gist of the headline and the potential consequences moving forward for what they can do. I mean, they are saying that it's just this Gotham sort of police TV show that we're initially getting, obviously with the trilogy of Matt Reeves' Batman movies. But if they actually do expand this out, almost like a Big Bang of movies and cinematic universe, where it starts off with one story from Matt Reeves and then they expand it out into various different interconnected movies, TV shows, maybe even animated or something like that. I don't know. The sky is the limit. It's very exciting. There's a lot of possibilities for where they can go. I mean, I'm first and foremost really intrigued by what they say this TV show is going to be about. It's going to look more into the corruption within the Gotham City Police Department, which is going to be apparently touched upon in the Batman movie. Now, I've heard a couple of different things about this Batman movie recently. I read an article that says that it will primarily delve into Batman or Bruce Wayne's relationship with, obviously, Alfred. So it'll be Andy Serkis and Robert Pattinson. That's going to be the heart of the story. But then also we have got the likes of Carmine Falcone, the Penguin, in the background, in the shadows, playing things like Puppet Master. He's clearly going to have an unhealthy sway and influence on the Gotham City Police Department. There is a gallery of rogues in this movie. So I like that. I like the fact that they're already thinking ahead and expanding it out into a TV show. Hopefully we'll get some familiar faces, the same people coming over from the movie, giving us that continuity. I think it's a great idea. Obviously with HBO Max trying to obviously flex its muscles, a new streaming service that's working with Warner Brothers. They've got a lot sort of, I think they're maybe under the Warner Brother parent umbrella, whatever you want to call it, company, because they have got all of the DC movies and whatnot. And I'm not sure if Gotham was a HBO Max TV show either, but I think with them looking to expand out into streaming, this is a great way of bringing in subscribers and people who otherwise would be more drawn to a Netflix or an Amazon or a Disney Plus or just any other streaming provider. If they can get this off the ground running, they can excite people with the Batman, maybe just bring them in for a couple of episodes, maybe promotional or something, I don't know, depending on the calibre of writing, then they could have something on their hands here. But then you go in and start thinking about the consequences thereafter, what they can do with it. I mean, you could have an expanded universe just centred on Batman villains and characters, the likes of the Joker and Poison Ivy, Catwoman, on-off love-hate relationship between her and Bruce Wayne. So many possibilities. Bane, amazing villains connected to Batman. You don't even have to bring in the likes of Superman further down the road, the Flash and whatnot, although they do suggest, and I don't know if this is something you'd like to say, John, Stephen, them maybe doing a multiverse thing through the Flashpoint and bringing this in, setting it up as an expanded separate universe, and then they can have another Batman, maybe Michael Keaton going on in the main DCEU timeline. But I think it's great. I think it's a great idea.
From what I've read, and we've been covering this for the last 2 years since Matt Reeves was on board, and he's looking for a clean slate, as I look at it anyway. There was a reason that he replaced what's his name that was playing Alfred before, Jeremy Irons, and your man J.K. Simmons as well. There was a reason why they were recast. That he wants to have a clean slate, so I'm not really keen on that either, having this kind of shared universe. I know that I did read that bit, and if you've not really been keeping up with the whole, I can't remember what it's called, that the TV sort of universe, whatever it's called, I can't remember, but I don't want
the Arrowverse.
Well, there's that as well, and then there's obviously the one with all the the Superman one. I can't remember what that's called. Can't remember. The point I'm trying to make is, John,
I'm flinging you under
I
the bus
don't
here,
really
Stephen.
want
Sorry.
to see. I don't really want to see. I don't want to see it mixing in with anything that's already came before,
No.
because I've not seen it. That's just maybe me being selfish, but I just want to see a clean slate. I think Matt Reeves, the Batman, is a good starting point. I'm not really looking for origins either. I don't think we need that. Maybe a couple of flashbacks or whatever. I don't really want to spend too much time on how Batman became Batman. It's been done so many times before now. I really just want to get into the nitty gritty of it. I think this Gotham PD thing sounds interesting though.
Yeah.
I liked the Gotham series, the one, I think it ran for 5 seasons or something like that. It was on Netflix here in the UK for a little while. But me being me, I lose interest. My attention span after maybe 2 or 3 seasons kind of dips, and then I lose interest, and I maybe just catch maybe 1 episode, 2 episodes, within a season, and then I just give up on it. But I did like the first couple of seasons of it. But this seems to be a better angle they're going for. It seems to be more about the corruption, rather than having the who's who of all the villains on this television show. They're going to cover that in the Batman anyway. That I always wondered why you were going to get the likes of Batgirl, Catwoman, the Riddler, possibly a Joker in there as well. Who knows? Or leading to a second film with the Joker hinting at the very end of the film. Possibly a Nightwing, Robin. Batwoman as well. So you just the possibilities.
Maybe Charlie Cox coming over to play Nightwing.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah,
Because we spoke about that the other day.
I would like that. Yeah, but I think that's the reason why Matt Reeves is going sort of the whole kitchen sinks getting thrown in there as well.
Yeah.
I think it's to set up the television shows.
Well, Stephen, that was the final thing I was going to maybe fling in as well. Would it be Matt Reeves who would be continuing this on throughout the entire sort of expanded universe? Would he turn into a sort of mini Zack Snyder, Kevin Feige sort of figurehead in the whole thing? Or would they maybe just share the love and give out different roles to different directors, bring them in, have it all part of one sort of harmonious creative vision, but then have various different people coming in and lending their insights, their ideas into it? I don't know, but look, I think it's a great idea anyway. I'm firmly on board for it. I think this is what Warner Brothers and DC should have done from the very get-go. They should have.
Do you want to see it, mixing in with different sort of universes and stuff like that, John? Would you like to see
maybe
that?
at the very beginning,
Yeah.
to explain that this is a different universe, it's not connected, and that can maybe allow them to continue on Jared Leto's Joker, maybe a Michael Keaton Batman in the main timeline with the likes of obviously Gal Gadot and Ezra Miller and Jason Momoa. They can continue on doing their thing in that original timeline, and it allows us through sort of comic book lore to explain why we have a Robert Pattinson Batman and why we have obviously Andy Serkis and whatnot, not Jeremy Irons playing these roles. That would be an interesting way to do it. But I think, Stephen, that's the final thing I would add. This is what they should have done from the start. Had a nice, slow, sort of marinating experience for the main players. Bring in a Batman, expand it out around him. Bring in a Superman, expand it out around about them. Bring in Wonder Woman, place her in, expand different little interconnected TV shows. Much like what Disney are now doing with Disney Plus. We would have had a better experience. We would have been able to grow with these characters, and then when we did get a Justice League, if it was handled correctly and it all came together beautifully, it would have fared a lot better than that abomination from 2016. What was it? I don't know.
Yeah.
17. When was Justice League? Doesn't even matter. Forgot about it already.
2017, I think it was. I think it was
2017.
the month before The Last Jedi came out, John, as I recall. It was a
good time
terrible
for
couple of months, wasn't it?
Yeah, god awful.
Thank goodness for Christmas and Boxing Day and all that good
Last
food.
Jedi was that bad though, Stephen. I would rate Justice League above it. There you go. I said it.
That could be the next poll.
Yeah.
But anyway, John, we're going to move on. But just my final words on that topic.
Yeah, I'll bring it back
is
then.
possibly, I think we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled to see what develops. I think maybe once the film's out and once we know how it's received by critics and fans alike, then they'll probably then decide on what they want to do. I think the Gotham thing's a winner anyway. I don't think you can go far wrong with that kind of a television show and that theme, But anyway, John, we'll move on to our next topic. It's Charlize Theron seemingly confirms Atomic Blonde 2 is coming to Netflix. Atomic Blonde star Charlize Theron gives an update on Atomic Blonde 2 and seemingly confirms it will be heading to Netflix. So in an interview with Total Film, Theron confirmed that they're still writing Atomic Blonde 2 and indicated that it's heading to Netflix. When discussing the sequel, Theron stated, "We took AB2, as they call it, to them, and Scott Stuber, head of original films at Netflix, was really interested in it. We talked to him about it extensively, and we're in the process of writing it right now. In regards to what direction the sequel may head in, Theron added that character was set up in a way where she didn't really reveal much of herself, so I feel like there's a lot of potential there. The bar's pretty high, but we're excited about it." What is your take on this, John? Because as I recall, I don't have the facts and figures, but this film it didn't really
it didn't blow the box office away.
No, it didn't, as I recall. Yeah,
it was a decent movie, Steve.
I enjoyed it, but I don't think overall it did really well at the box office, as I recall. We were covering it obviously on
the
box
ratings.
Office.
Yeah, and I think the ratings. I think I reviewed it.
Yeah.
Back when I was actually writing and using my brain, and those were the days. No, they weren't. Those were terrible, dark days for me. Terrible. I nearly lost my love for film. I was overworking that much and writing reviews.
Yeah.
It actually broke Kevin, as you know, Stephen. He left. He went on a hiatus from the writing side of things, and he's never come back to that writing thing. No. But Stephen, look, I did enjoy this movie. I loved what David Leitch brought to it. I love what Charlize Theron brought to the role. We've seen numerous sort of female-centric action movies over the last 4 or 5 years. Keep saying it, Jennifer Garner and Peppermint. We also had Haley Steinfeld in Bumblebee. That was a sort of action movie. There was another one that springs to mind. I think it was one about a Russian undercover agent. It was from last year or something. Blonde-haired Russian model played the main role. That was a bit crap. It was okay. This was a different calibre. I don't know why it never took off at the box office. Perhaps it was maybe just the meat and bones of the story didn't quite connect so much. I think Sofia Boutella was in this movie as well.
Yeah.
Also, she was in that tragic Abomination with Tom Cruise, the Mummy movie from a couple of years ago. It never seemed to take off with critics or fans alike. Maybe the critic. I'd have to check the reviews, but it never seemed to get the love that perhaps it maybe deserved. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
But what it was slick. That's what I will say. It was a slick action movie. Some beautiful, continuous one-shots, scenes in certain parts of the movie. David Leitch is an absolute god behind the camera. He knows how to... Well, perhaps I'm being a little bit too generous. Maybe he isn't a god behind the camera, but he's a man who knows how to set up beautiful choreographed sequences. He knows how action flows. He came from a stunt coordinator background. He's now a fine action director. Of course, he worked with Chad Stahelski on John Wick and whatnot. And that scene where she's fighting down the stairs, fighting numerous men and stuff like that and kicking the shit out of them, it reminded me of Daredevil season 1 when he goes to the docks, and it's that amazing sequence in the corridor and he's just kicking the living shit out of everybody. The way it flowed. If we can get more of that coming over to this second movie, then I'd be on board with it. I can understand why it's going to Netflix though, because as you did say rightly, it didn't do amazing at the box office. I'd have to check the numbers like yourself. I'm not entirely sure what the raw numbers were, but I think it would put off a traditional studio. I don't know who put out the original one, but it would probably put them off putting it back out to theatres, especially in the sort of post-coronavirus climate where it's going to be at a premium trying to get people into theatres anyway.
Yeah.
So Netflix seems like the natural place for this movie. It seems like the...
Oh, it's a strange one, John, because in this article it did say it grossed 100 million worldwide against a budget of just 30 million.
It's not too bad.
But I think at the time, John, what it was up against made it not perform as well, in the box office, as far as rankings go, rather than what it made. But this is right down Netflix street, isn't it? The kind of budget for these type of films is, suitable for that platform.
Extraction, was it? The Chris Hemsworth one they're doing, and then the Underground 7 with Ryan Reynolds. They're doing a lot of action movies. They're doing them well, to be fair.
Yeah, and I think they would do well with this as well. I would still like to see a cinema run, and I know that Netflix does that. It did it with The Irishman last November. It was out for about 3 weeks, I think. Maybe not as long as that, I can't remember.
2 weeks, I think. Maybe
because we did go and see this film in the cinema, and it was, as you say, it was slick. And when you get a slick film, the best place to watch a slick film is in the cinema. So I wouldn't mind it being on Netflix if it's not going to have a cinema run, but I do hope it does, John. But,
is it Leach, Stephen, that's doing it? Very finally.
Well, I think
he is working on some Japanese set train movie, and I think Brad Pitt's just joined it, so he's a busy boy.
I will just have a little look, because he is mentioned a few times in this article, but I don't see any connection yet. I don't know if there's anything confirmed. Leach, who may return for the second installment, has previously stated that he has a lot of ideas for Atomic Blonde 2, so he's obviously thinking about it. So
Theron said as well, a lot of backstory in that character they could delve into and unearth maybe what's going on with her inside her head, what makes her tick. Steve, final thing I agree with you. I'd like to see it going in theatres. I'd like to see Netflix continue this sort of thing where they buy up maybe independent theatres in different cities, major, obviously, I don't know what even the term would be, major sort of cities, for lack of a better word. There was another word that I was thinking about, but it's went out of my brain, as ever, when I do shows. And maybe just release it in their own individual little theatres. This is something I want to see them continuing to do. Maybe Amazon as well. And then they're not really caring whether it loses money or not, because the primary source of income for these companies is subscribers. So that's something I want to see. I'd go to a Netflix theatre all day long. Markets was the word.
Just staying in that theme, John, Bird Box 2 movie in development on Netflix. Very similar theme to what we were just discussing. I'm not Sean Connery again. Josh Malerman, author of the novel Bird Box, says Netflix is in development on Bird Box 2, a sequel to the Sandra Bullock adaptation. Inverse spoke to Malerman about Mallory, and the author let it slip that Netflix is currently in development on a Bird Box 2. The author didn't say much else, but considering he's promoting his sequel novel, it's probably a safe bet to say the author's work will at least inspire the movie. I can't say much, but I can say that it's in development. Sometimes it's weird, all the secrecy, but I'm game. Fans looking for hints to what the Bird Box 2 might be about should look to the sequel novel Mallory. The novel isn't available until the 21st of July 2020, but the synopsis for the book contains some intriguing revelations about Mallory's future and hints at what the movie story could be like, including a 12-year jump. So, yeah, that's a strange one, isn't it? Obviously, the kids will be grown up, or they'll be teenagers at least, won't they? Because they were small children at the time. So, just going back to Bird Box, John, both of us watched this on Netflix. I don't think this had a cinematic release, did it? No. It was very under the radar. Now, the one thing I will say about Bird Box is that it does suffer because of The Quiet Place. The comparisons were uncanny in regards to heightened senses and stuff like that, and the mystery of these mysterious goings on.
Sort of demonic force.
And what's your take on this, John? Would you watch a Bird Box 2? Would you watch a sequel to the first film? Because I've got to admit, I was very content with the first film. I don't know if I'd be interested in a continuation of the story. I felt it kind of covered everything I wanted to see in the film. John Malkovich was in that as well, wasn't he? He was excellent as always.
He was right as well. He says, "Don't let these shitheads in." I think it was that little strange chap that played a reverend or a priest in some movie. Right. I know his face. Yeah. He was a little shithead in it. He blagged his way in and then obviously opened up all of the windows and stabbed.
I'm going to look for that actually, John, because I know who you're talking about. He's a famous actor.
Yeah, he's a very famous actor. I'm sure he played a reverend, but Malkovich was right, as he always is in these movies. Stephen, I don't know if I would want to see a Bird Box 2 movie. I think it helps that the likes of Josh Malerman, the guy that actually penned the original novel, is
Tom Hollander.
He penned, or has penned, just finished a second novel. I think it helps when you've got the source, the guy who created the source material, continuing it on, because you you can then delve into the source material. And I always find that the best movies are adapted from really good novels, like the Lord of the Rings and whatnot. Game of Thrones to an extent early on into the middle seasons, really beautiful TV, and just the compelling stuff, people dying, relationships, rich sort of mythology. That was all birthed out of the actual novels. So if they were just continuing the story on and it wasn't George Marleman's actual source material, they were just taking it on, getting some screenwriter in, I would have been firmly against it because it wouldn't be right. But the fact that they are bringing the original novelist back in, writer, whatever you want to call him.
That's why Doctor Sleep worked, John.
That's exactly why it works. You've got Stephen King's source material and you've got a great guy, Mike Flanagan, coming in to direct it. So that's when it works, when you get good source material to adapt it from. So that was the only thing that would maybe redeem it for me. The thing that wouldn't redeem it for me is just I liked the original movie, the way it ended. I like self-contained movies.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be a trilogy, a duology, continuing on into a franchise. The original movie had a nice little story, as you did say, slightly plagiarised to an extent in A Quiet Place, although Marleman will argue it didn't, because he probably penned the novel before Krasinski done A Quiet Place. But it had a nice little story, start, middle and end.
And what can you add to it?
Exactly, I mean, you're just going to continue on. It's going to be 12 years later, you're going to have to age Sandra Bullock. The young children are going to have to be recast.
Yeah.
Where are you going to go with it? They stayed at that blind sanctuary, didn't they? They were safe, the birds were there, they were warning them of this sort of thing. And they couldn't be got at by this strange demonic thing. I don't know where you go with it after that. I mean, I'm sure Marleman said something because he's wrote a whole second novel about it.
And I'm sure the question was asked for A Quiet Place 2 as well. Where do you go with this? What could you add to this that hasn't already been done as well?
But they at least left it in a cliffhanger with them stuck in the basement. It's continuing right on. So you're just right in and following their story to its natural conclusion. It felt as though it had somewhere to go. It wasn't quite completed. With that, it felt an ending. They were finally found sanctuary in a place that was just crazy. Because if you recall the opening shots where I don't know if it's someone's daughter gets burnt in the car, she goes and sits with her mother or something like that.
It's been a while since I saw it, John, but
absolutely crazy.
It's a great opening,
yeah, and again, that's what A Quiet Place 2 is, kind of a plagiarised Bird Box to an extent with the start of that movie, but it's getting back and showing you a flashback of what happened when the world went shit. So I don't know, man. I mean, I'm conflicted. I'd like to see what Marleman's done and if they can maybe recreate some of the magic. It wasn't an amazing movie, it was decent. It certainly had a lot of buzz when it came out on Netflix, but then again, I like self-contained stories.
Yeah,
I like
there's an answer to that, John. You can pick up Mallory in a couple of weeks' time from your bookstore or online, of course.
It's coming out, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming out in a couple of weeks' time, end of July. But we'll move on to our final topic, John.
Yes.
Film we wanted to see in 4K. We might still see it in 2K at some point, fingers crossed, at some point. I'd even watched this in...
What the Americans have got already.
I'd even watched this in a very low quality, just to see it in the cinema again. Empire Strikes Back, we're going to talk about, tops the box office for the first time in over 2 decades. For the first time in over 2 decades, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, will be the number one movie at the domestic box office. Now, we kind of gave up on our box office for a while because, in our own words, it didn't really mean anything. But when it's one of our films that we love, that we've loved all our lives, then it does mean something. So we're contradicting ourselves here, but it's going to be one of these sort of rare occasions. We're sort of living, in strange times at the moment. So
yes.
The box office isn't what it should be or what it was. But according to Deadline, Empire Strikes Back has jumped to the top of the box office chart for the first time since its re-release in 1997. Special editions, whether you like them or not. Well, it's the official 3-day total has yet to be calculated. It's estimated that The Empire Strikes Back will come in between high 400,000 and low 500,000 after notching 175,000 from 483 locations yesterday. This brings the film's overall total to $290.4 million domestically. That's in the US.
Yeah.
It's worth mentioning that Disney also held the second and third spots yesterday, with Black Panther at $110,000 and Inside Out at $106,000 respectively.
Stephen, very exciting to see that this movie is being re-released in certain, obviously, places, markets.
Yeah. Drive-ins probably.
Yeah, I think it is drive-ins. I'd love a drive-in theatre here.
Yeah.
Why have we not got it? Well,
I'd love the weather first.
The climate, I've answered my own question. Wind, howling wind, and sort of
nachos all over the place in your car.
Buckfast balls and whatnot, That's why we don't get drive-in theatres here, but I'd love it anyway. Because it allowed me to go and watch Empire Strikes Back remastered in the theatres, something I've never done in my living life. So, but look, we're going to get it, Stephen. Sooner rather than later, the theatres will open up with social distancing, all the sort of regulations in place to keep people safe, maybe reduce capacities and whatnot. We will get to see this movie. And what a story. First time in 20 years or so since the 97 remasters that it's topped the box office. This is something you're going to see over the course of the next few weeks with no new releases obviously appearing in theatres. You're going to see more and more classic movies getting a shot and then topping the box office for the weekend. It's very intriguing. And again, look, I'm just excited to see this movie. We spoke about this before. I can't... Even in 2K, it would have been amazing to see it in 4K. But 2K will do just fine for me.
The 4K releases, it's only the UK that's not getting it, which is really annoying. You know, considering that the film was predominantly filmed here in the UK, that we're not getting it. But it's obviously the negotiations had broken down between the ones that were hosting, obviously, the film and the studio. But it's funny because Jurassic Park was number one a few weeks ago as well. It's strange times. It's strange days indeed, as the late John Lennon once said, for the box office. And you know, it's great to see one of our favourites in there.
Most peculiar, Mama.
I don't think it's worth bringing back box office chat, to be fair, but just to talk about it. So I thought we would talk about it anyway. I saw this film back in '97, John, the special edition. I was too young to see the original release. I was only 4 at the time, so I wouldn't have really paid much attention. I always found Empire Strikes Back, when I was a kid, wasn't my favourite one. My favourite one was A New Hope. And it wasn't until I got older I started appreciating the film a little bit more. I think it's because of the pacing of it. It's a bit more stretched out than A New Hope. A New Hope's just an adventure. Yeah. This has got more drama in it. It's got more reveals. It's got more dialogue as well.
It's darker,
you know.
too.
And it's, John, the tone of this is a lot darker than that film as well. But it's probably my favourite Star Wars film. It's between that and A New Hope, but for different reasons. A New Hope will always be close to my heart, just because that was a film that I was first introduced to Star Wars. But The Empire Strikes Back's on another level technically as well. Yeah. But it's just
so many iconic landscapes as well, the likes of Hoth and Bespin.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely my favourite Star Wars movie of all time, Stephen. It's not been topped. A New Hope's close. Yeah. Return of the Jedi slightly below for me. And it's just the fact that it did go dark and it allowed you to see the Empire coming back and gaining a foothold against the rebels. If you want to see a movie which never really has the bad guys in the sort of ascendancy, you could argue that the end of The Last Jedi, the First Order are in the ascendancy, they've wiped out the rebellion, but there was never any.
The resilience of Darth Vader in this film as well. He was just hell-bent on finding Skywalker, wasn't he? I know that obviously there was a lot of dialogue changes between him and the Emperor, wasn't there, for the special edition? They changed it about a bit. I think it was to do with the narrative of the reveal of Luke Skywalker's relationship with Anakin. But it's still a great film. You know, I think out of the special editions, this was the one that probably didn't get affected as much. It was more cleaned up. The sort of opening shots going into Bespin were outstanding. I thought that was one of the better things they did with the special edition. I don't know about you, John.
Well, Stephen, as you know, I haven't seen the original, unaltered, original Star Wars movies, but I have seen the sort of before and after shots. I think you maybe shared something with me.
Yeah, there's YouTube
Bespin
clips out there.
Is dramatically better in these special editions. All the shit that George Lucas gets, he made it much more expansive and more airy and brighter, and it was better. Certain things he shouldn't have done, they were bastardised, the versions that he created, but Bespin in The Empire Strikes Back is without a doubt better.
Boba Fett's voice, they changed that, but they had to for continuity, didn't they?
Yeah, Tamura Morrison.
Yeah.
Stephen, final thing I'll add before, I don't know if you've got anything to say before I wrap up. I just can't wait to see this movie in the theatres, primarily to hear Vader uttering those amazing words to Luke Skywalker when they are about to duel on Cloud City. The Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you're not a Jedi yet. I cannot wait to hear that man's booming dulcet tones.
As I recall, just before we finish up, as I recall, when we went to see Rogue One, was that your first experience of Vader in the theatres, or was it maybe Revenge of the Sith?
Revenge of the Sith, but it wasn't Vader, Steve.
No,
where is she? Where's Padme? I can't even recall the lines. Is she alive?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Not a chance. No, it would have been Rogue One, Stephen. It was the first time I got to properly see Darth Vader on the screen, but that or that wrong will be righted in due course when we finally get back to theatres with a mask on, and I get to watch Darth Julius Vader in the best goddamn Star Wars movie ever made in a theatre. It's going to be a happy time. But look, there's a comment, Steve, before we round it up. I think I'll wrap it up by reading it. I'm a geriatric, so I can't really read, sorry. Empire Strikes Back is absolutely the best Star Wars movie. My favourite is still A New Hope. I'm lucky that my grandparents still had special editions.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
VHSs when I was growing up. Well, I have got the 2005 DVDs where it was like a double pack. Where you got the special edition and you got the... it wasn't the original cut though, I think it was an early 80s cut, but it had the original The Crawl without the episode for episode 4. It just came up Star Wars and then it went right into the sort of, you know, the narrative. I've still got them kicking about somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
I think you gave me them, Stephen. Be, maybe you didn't. Maybe I'm talking crap.
Don't commit yourself.
I think you gave me the special editions.
Yeah.
But they were good anyway. But look, Stephen, I'm done. I can't wait to see Empire Strikes Back and all that jazz. But look, what the hell do you guys make about the 4 topics we spoke about? I know for a fact we had sound issues, Stephen. I listened to it with the AirPods while it was on you. We had sound issues during the Bird Box topic, so just don't even go back and watch that. If you're perhaps watching this and you feel compelled to go back and watch some of the show, just cut that one. Didn't work out. But look, the Batman, Stephen. What I don't know why I'm saying Stephen. I'm putting it over to you as the viewers, not Stephen. What do you make about the Batman spawning a new universe of movies and TV shows? Is that something you want to see? What do you make about Atomic Blonde potentially hitting Netflix with Charlize Theron? Maybe not. David Leitch directing it. And finally, what do you make about Bird Box 2 potentially coming out and being a thing on Netflix too, and The Empire Strikes Back topping the box office for the first time in nigh on 20 years? If you've got anything to say about any of the topics we have touched upon tonight, then you can comment below and let us know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. Also like the video if you've enjoyed it, and you can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. And if you do, you'll see me and Stephen again tomorrow for another episode of MB Movie News. See you after, guys.